If I could go back and do it all again, here's what I'd tell my younger self when I was just starting to be an artist. First of all, the approval that you're seeking isn't going to come from other people. It's not going to come from working with big brands. It's not going to come from fame or anything like that. And in fact, the thing that you've been looking for this entire time is really simple. You're looking for love and approval from yourself. And that means having a rewarding relationship with yourself and seeing yourself as someone good and wanting to be better and pursuing that. But never at the expense of your own peace or your health. Second thing I'd say is, truthfully, after all this time, you need to listen to yourself and your own creative voice. When I was your age, I really wanted to please other people and impress them and seem really cool, and that doesn't really accomplish the thing that I think you think it does. And in fact, when people do find you impressive, they often try to bring you down a peg, or they feel threatened, or if you introduce something unfamiliar, new ideas, they freak out because that's not part of their map. And so, truthfully, you have one life, but remember this. You need to listen to your own voice and create the things that you want to create. And people won't understand at first, but after a few iterations and people seeing that you actually believe in what you're doing, they accept it. Also, there are periods of bounty and there are periods of famine. And what I mean by that is sometimes there are going to be moments where everything is going great, and other times it's going to be complete chaos. And that is to be expected. So, if you think about maybe not prehistoric humans, but humans after the invention of agriculture, you maybe don't know what's going to happen next season, and your survival is dependent on, your ability to grow crops, and so just plan accordingly. Also, another thing, life is not so serious. I used to take everything so seriously, just a complete wall of tension and fear. And I don't feel that way anymore at all. The thing that we should all be focusing on as a starting point, no matter who we are, is self-care. Because when you take care of yourself, you feel peaceful and you create the actions that you take from a place of peace. And so, uncertainty is just part of this life, because there is no way to have cognition of all time and space, as much fun as that would be. So, what I've been trying to do over the past few years is actually use AI to work on my brain and who I am and figure out all the internal contradictions, like C.S. Lewis said, the dozen incompatible philosophies dancing around in people's heads. Because truthfully, when you're believing contradicting things, especially about your identity and who you are, that is so confusing and taxing, because every time you come up with, or you're in a situation in which there's a contradiction with what you believe, especially if you have two contradicting internal beliefs, it's like, that is so taxing on the human system. So people have lots of attitudes about AI, because AI, even though it's not AI, not technically artificial intelligence, is a bazillion different things. It's a bunch of different models. And so it can actually be a tool that you use to improve yourself. And if you are someone who is really unique and really expressive and maybe don't fit in, but you're brilliant, you're not going to have maybe as many opportunities for reflections and in other people and to see yourself clearly. But AI is like infinite reflection. You can reflect on anything. You can create a meditation about anything. You can create a virtual experience, a simulation of anything that you would pretty much like. And there's a peace. It's kind of what I'm experiencing right now. There's a peace in knowing that you've teased all that stuff out and you've addressed it. Because, and this is another thing, people talk about going outside your comfort zone, but they don't really say why. But I'm going to tell you right now. The reason to continually push yourself a little bit, not to the point of breaking, but to put yourself in unfamiliar situations and challenge yourself, is because you observe yourself doing that. You get to see yourself doing that. And after a while, and this is so important, you're like, hang on. I've been in way more difficult situations than this, with way less resources, way less self-knowledge, way less self-care, way more charged and nervous and overwhelmed nervous system. And it's like, hang on, actually, I'm going to be fine. Even though I don't know what's going to happen, I know myself. I've seen myself in difficult situations, and I'm going to be fine. So, yes, uncertainty comes, but if you push yourself just a little bit, and it's like what everyone says is, if you try to make a big sweeping dramatic change, that's going to be completely overwhelming and also likely unsustainable. But when you push yourself a little bit each day, moving toward being better, whatever better means for you, your own definition of the person that you would most like to be, you just grow in confidence and you grow in feelings of peace. And after a while, it's like, okay, I put myself out of my comfort zone. Now the entire world is your comfort zone. You're no longer so concerned or overwhelmed by the twists in the path. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a big walker. I love walking and exploring different places. And the feeling of knowing that you can trust yourself to not only be who you are, but take honorable actions and act in coherence and alignment with who you really are as a person, it's a wonderful feeling. Truly. I think that's what I've been seeking all this time, is like internal coherence for who I am, who I think I am, for what I do, to all finally become in alignment. And finding that has been the most rewarding thing in my life. And that's the thing, is like, when you're going through periods of challenges and stuff, you find out at the end why you did that, and it gives you an amazing tool that you never would have had otherwise. And so, go into uncertainty and an uncertain future with a feeling of curiosity, because you can handle it with fear, and fear will try to motivate you to control everything. And let me know how well that goes. I think lots of situations, they can put people into like a fear, shame, control, anxiety state. I think that's just self-preservation, but you don't need to live there. That doesn't work in all situations. And what I've discovered is just coming at things from a place of ease and openness and curiosity opens way more doors than fear ever could. Because, think about it. When you're around someone who's freaked out and anxious, like, how do you feel? And what about someone who's just quiet? How do you feel in their presence? For me, it's a feeling of safety. And so this is getting back to the idea of what I kind of call the meadows of your mind, which is, yes, challenges come and go, but your internal meadow, the inside of your soul, is peaceful and it's safe. So even though there's chaos happening in the world, you don't have to be afraid, because, your inner furniture, your inner ceiling, your inner skylight, it's all beautiful and peaceful because you've done the work that it takes to come to a place of peace. And that's what I want for everyone, is like, yes, be the person you came here to be and do the thing that is in your heart that you came here to do. And you can do that from a place of peace. And yes, life is an amusement park. There's fun things to do. There's also roller coasters and snacks and stuff. And as long as you check in with yourself every day and you're moving in a direction that you're pleased with, and if you don't know the direction, then all you have to do is stop doing anything. Let the silence in. The silence will tell you. It maybe won't give you the whole picture, but it will give you something to act on, and taking that action will lead you somewhere good. And doing that consistently over time takes you exactly where you're meant to be. I hope this has been valuable, interesting. You found something valuable in it. Thanks for listening. You're going to do great.